Come in.
Excuse me.
What is it?
6 o'clock, Prime Minister.
Oh, thank you.
No, sir, the news.
Ah, yes, you caught me that time. I see what Pavlov's dogs felt like.
This morning, the Prime Minister returned to London and
get on with it, man. Tell them what it's about.
Several ministers had to break their holidays to fly to London. After the meeting, the following communique was issued. Her Majesty's government has been aware for some time of the passage of an increasing number of orbital vehicles, possibly missiles, over these islands. The vehicles, which are of unknown but terrestrial origin, pass over at great speed and at great height. Although there is no immediate cause for alarm, Her Majesty's government points out that they constitute a deliberate infringement of our national airspace, and steps are being taken to intercept and identify them.
Well, now they know what it's about. Anything fresh, Bennett?
No, sir. We're still waiting on Gears.
Gears?
The director at Thorness. The machine and the girls...
That's our best hope, I suppose. Do you think it'll work?
It is working, sir.
We've got to find our own answer to this. Oh, we'll be like Belgium in 1914, or Czechoslovakia in 38, or Berlin in 61. By the time our allies get round to it, we'll be sunk.
We're going as fast as we can, sir.
What's General Vandenberg doing?
He's at Boulder Fell, the radio telescope.
Why?
With Reinhart, watching the traces.
It's no good watching them. We've got to do something about them.
They've been coming over thick and fast. We've had 102 of them so far. Now, what's that one, Harvey?
Number 103, Professor. Height about 350 miles, course 2651.
Any change in characteristics?
No. They just come over. They're launched, we think, from about 40 north by 130 to 135 east. That's as near as we can estimate.
Somewhere between Manchuria, Vladivostok, and northern island of Japan. So, could be any of 3 fellow members of the United Nations.
Is the West taking this to the Security Council?
Not until we can negotiate through strength. We've got to have some means of defense first.
I don't see what their point is.
The point is, somebody in the East wants us to know they've got the technical edge on us. So they launch a whole series of uninterceptable missiles. They flaunt them over our heads just to show the world that we have no means of retaliation. Oh, it's just another form of saber rattling. They'd love us to go squealing to the United Nations and admit our weakness. Then they'd have us. But maybe we won't need to admit any weakness.
What's Gears doing?
Oh, he's going as fast as he can.
With the computer?
And the creature.
Do you think that's safe?
This is not a safe world.
Well, there are 2 schools of thought.
Yeah, yours and ours.
Oh, I don't feel sure about it like Fleming does. Just uneasy.
Is Fleming still worrying you?
No, he just sits around.
That doesn't sound...
A very stable solution.
He's only trying to save face, if you ask me. He knows he's made a lot of trouble and doesn't like to admit he's been in the wrong.
Well, let me know if you have any difficulty.
We will.
And the creature?
Oh, she's all right.
I give her a medical check-over once a day.
She's not showing signs of strain.
No.
No, it all seems quite effortless to her. She takes the calculations your people give her, communicates them to the computer, and comes up with the results. At least I hope they're the results.
More than. They're telling us what to do now.
Is that what you want?
It makes sense.
Why don't you give up, John?
Me?
Why don't you leave?
That'd please you, wouldn't it?
It would not please me. But there's nothing you can do eating your heart out here.
It's a nice little 3-handed game, isn't it? I watch her, you watch me.
You're not doing yourself any good.
Jealous?
Don't be absurd.
They're all so damn sure. There's something I've got to find out. About it. Or about her. I'll stick around.
But, John,
You'll have to get a warrant to throw me out.
I don't want to throw you out.
I wish to see Dr. Gears about these, please.
No?
No.
I'll see if he's free.
Happy in your work? Getting quite indispensable, aren't you?
Please be careful what you say.
Is that a threat?
Yes.
Look.
I'm busy.
Wait a minute. You want to make something of yourself, you know, if you want to influence men.
I do what I have to.
You could start by pushing your hair back, then we could see your face. It's a pretty face. Or you could wear scent.
Scent?
Like she does. Well, it's not very exotic, lavender water or something. But nice.
I do not understand you. Nice, nasty, good, bad. There is no logical distinction.
Come here. Come on. Nice or nasty?
Nasty.
Because you were meant to register pain. All right. I'm not going to hurt you. Nasty or nice?
Nice.
You were meant to register pleasure. Well, I doubt if you were intended to, but by giving you a human form. Human beings don't live by logic.
So I've noticed.
No. We live by our senses. That's what gives us our instincts, for good or bad, our aesthetic and moral judgments. Without them, we'd probably have annihilated ourselves by now.
You are doing your best, aren't you?
But you're going to save us.
You are like children with your missiles and rockets.
Now, don't count me in on that.
No, I don't.
Dr. Gears will see you.
All the same, I am going to save you. It is quite simple, really. Do I smell nasty?
You'll have to find that out for yourself, won't you?
Yes, it's coming along famously. We struck a few snags with the guidance system, but these were ironed out pretty quickly. Well, funnily enough, propellant's never been any trouble at all. We need another check on the ballistics, and then we can start building.
That is all you will need, Dr. Gears.
You can tell the Western Alliance Committee from now on we're on our own.
I don't like this.
Just for once, we have the means.
You do.
Of course, we shall coordinate with you when the time comes to use it.
You will tell us how you use it.
We shall make an interception.
But I want
No one's going to complain because no one admits ownership of these vehicles. If we don't stop them, we shall be entirely at their mercy. And one day there'll be a big bang, that'll be the end of it, or at least of us.
Come in. Oh, hello, Prof. I don't suppose you know your own defense minister. Burnett, Professor Reinhart.
How do you know? A name.
Sit down, Prof. Rest your feet.
I wanted you in on this, Professor, because we're going to ask for more help.
What kind of help?
Well, we're going to try to intercept one of these things.
How?
Gears has come up with a missile design. Gears and your computer.
What was my computer?
And the synthetic Wonder Girl.
They've given us something quite out of this world.
Yes, I can believe that.
Very simple, very efficient. All we have to do is make it.
Gears, I suppose.
Yes, Gears people will make it.
Sure. British is the flag. All of a sudden, this has become a very domestic affair.
We shall keep your headquarters in touch, General.
You do that.
As far as the operation goes, Reinhart, we shall go it alone. What we want you to do is to keep tabs on the hardware and help us to draw a bead on it when the time comes.
And if it fails?
It won't fail. They're still coming over?
Oh, yes.
August 12th, 0350 hours GMT. Ballistic vehicle 117 passed overhead on course 2697 by 451. September 9th, 2140 hours. Number 194. Course 2861 by 508. Height 450 miles. December 11th, number 249. Height 400 to 450 miles. Course 2736 by 498. Height 350 to 400 miles. Speed approximately 17,600 kilometers per hour.
On track?
Yes, sir.
Standing by. Where are we at the countdown?
22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
There goes the rocket. You holding the target?
Yes, sir, that's it. Here.
must be getting very close. It's a clear trace. And that's it!
Yeah. A hit. Well, what do you know? Get me 10 Downing Street. I want to talk to the big guy himself. No personal secretary.
The Ministry of Defense announced this morning that an orbital missile had been intercepted by a new British rocket at a height of 370 miles above this country. The remains of the missile, which is of unknown origin, and of the interceptor, were burnt out on re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. But the interception was followed on auto radar, and can, says the Ministry, be verified in minute detail. Our military correspondent, Cluton Danvers, points out that this news is proof of an enormous advance in our rocket research development. Cluton Danvers.
Well, if you'd have asked me yesterday whether this sort of interception was possible, I'd have said no. I'd have said, with a great many others, that this country was entirely vulnerable to an increasing amount of orbital machinery that was passing over it. Today, suddenly, the answer is different. All the world knows it's different. And any aggressive power that might have had fancy ideas about orbital attack will have to think again. Now, what exactly is it that our boffins have pulled out of the bag? We don't know. But some sort of a clue may possibly lie in the fact that the Prime Minister is going tomorrow to visit the rocket research establishment at Thorness.
Foster Norris is at Thorness already.
As director of this institute, Dr. Gears, you must be aware of the fantastic importance of what you've done.
I am indeed.
Can you give us any details of how you achieved it?
I'm afraid not.
When you manage a technical breakthrough like this, you are presumably prepared to make public some of your findings.
Not in this case.
And when the Prime Minister visits you tomorrow?
It will be a private visit.
No press?
No press, no cameras. I'm sorry.
Wish this diplomatic circus would come and get it over with.
Why do you do that?
Something human will happen to you if you go around like that.
You mean these clothes?
Yeah. You'll make one hell of an impression. Then you already have, haven't you? There'll be no holding you now, will there? He'll probably ask you to take over number 10. I suppose you think we'll all sleep easy in our beds now you've shown us all how powerful you are. I suppose you think we're all fools.
You are not a fool.
Look, if I weren't a fool, you wouldn't be here now. You shoot down a little bit of metal from the sky. It's a pushover when you know how. And suddenly you're in a commanding position.
That was intended.
Have you told them?
Of course not.
And what is intended next?
It depends on the program.
Yeah, you're a slave, aren't you?
Why don't you go?
Go?
Now, while you can.
Make me.
I may have to. The Prime Minister.
This is the actual computer, sir. Quite incomprehensible to me. Hello, young lady. Congratulations.
How do you do?
You understand all this? I'm sure you do. And we're very beholden. Quite a change for us to be able to make a show of force. We shall have to take good care of you. They're looking after you all right?
Yes, thank you.
Good, good.
Dr. Fleming is
How
the
do you
man
do?
who does...
Where do you keep the rocketry?
I'll show you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. What is it? What does the young man want?
Oh, nothing, sir. He doesn't want anything. You'd better come with us.
Come along, my dear. Brains and beauty first.
Now, in here, sir.
I see.
And the...
Look, there's something I must...
Goodness sake, man.
That's great, wasn't it?
I did my best.
No, great. There's no business like show
Oh,
business.
at least you should have been allowed to speak to him. Oh, I suppose he's shrewd. Looks a bit of an old woman to me.
It's like another.
Who?
A Ryger, who went for a ride on a tiger. They finished the ride with a lady inside. And a smile on the face of the tiger.
We're all going for a ride except you?
Do you know what she said to me just now?
No.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I have an idea.
One I'd understand.
Look how beautifully he's ticking over. How sleek and rhythmic he is. Purring away with us inside him. Suppose I pulled out the plug now.
They wouldn't let you.
Or got a crowbar and smashed him up.
You wouldn't get far with the guards. Anyhow, they'd rebuild it.
No, we'll have to shake it intellectually, won't we? I've shaken this young lady a bit. Now it's time to start on it. All right, you don't have to blow your whistle.
What's that?
It's a shortened formula for the creature.
Andromeda?
Yeah, call her what you like. This is what the machine calls her. It's not a formula, really. It's a sort of naming tag.
What are you going to do?
Just rearrange it slightly.
You're not going to do any damage.
Perhaps I've fallen for her.
Like you did Christine.
Scared. That's all I am of her. Scared flaming stiff, and so should you all be.
What are you playing at?
You'd better carry on with your conducted tour. This is going to take time.
I shall warn the guards.
Look, warn who you like. And what immortal hand or eye framed thy fearful symmetry? I'll give you something to think about. Exactly.
What have you been doing?
It's quite a brainstorm, isn't it?
What have you done to it?
Come away from that.
What have you done?
Just given it a bit of information.
What? This is my name tag, reversed.
Negative.
It'll think I'm dead.
That's what I meant it to think.
Why?
I didn't want him to have it all his own way.
That was very foolish.
It values you highly, doesn't it? What's the matter?
I must tell it I'm alive.
No.
I must.
No, not yet. It's working overtime, isn't it? It's quite psychologically disturbed, isn't it?
It thinks I'm dead.
That's why it's calculating.
I must tell it I'm alive.
Then I'll tell it you're dead again. I can go on playing this game until it doesn't know whether it's coming or going.
Give me that. You can't win. Leave me alone. Let go. Go away.
You're wearing scent.
Leave me alone. I shall call the guards.
Open your mouth, then. Nice or nasty?
Leave me alone, please.
Who do you belong to, him or us?
I belong where my brain tells me.
Then tell it this.
Don't.
Didn't you like the taste of lips? Or the taste of food? Or the feel and the smell of the fresh air outside in the hills beyond the wire with the sunshine and shadows on them, and the sound of the lark singing, and the company of human beings?
They're not important.
They weren't accounted for by whatever disembodied intelligence up there you owe allegiance to, but they're important to organic life, as you'll find out.
Anything can be allowed for.
They weren't in the calculations.
They can be put in. You can't beat us, Dr. Fleming. Please stop trying before you get hurt.
Am I likely to get hurt?
Yes.
Why should you warn me?
Because I like you.
You're talking like a human being.
And it's time I stopped. Please go now.
Look.
Please. Do you want me to get punished?
By who?
Who do you think?
Punished? That's a new one. Who do you belong to?
What's the matter with your hands? Let me see them.
Oh, they can be mended.
What happened?
Something went wrong, that's all.
Dr. Hunter, please.
Dr. Gears, please. Oh, Hunter here. Yes, I've bandaged up her hands. They're badly burnt. I've got a dressing on them, yes. Yes, suffering from shock, same as the other girl, only not fatal. No, she won't say how she came to do it. Just wants to get back to the machine. Right. Oh, there is just one thing. I think Fleming knows something about it. Yes, Fleming.
How many times have I got to tell you this machine is ruthless, completely ruthless?
So you decide to throw it off balance. You decide. You don't consult anyone. You're too clever. So clever the machine goes wrong and damn near kills the girl.
It wasn't because of that.
You've got all the answers, haven't you? After a whole chapter of accidents, you still come up with it's everyone's fault bar yours.
If you don't even want to listen to what happened.
I know what happened.
Were you there? She knew she was going to be punished. She should have had me thrown out. She should have wiped out what I'd put into the computer, but she didn't. She hesitated and she warned me and she let me go. Then she went up to the control unit and touched the communication terminals.
I thought you'd gone.
Of course I'd gone. I'm telling you what happened, what was bound to happen. She told the machine that she was alive, that it had been given false information, that the source of the information was still around and that she hadn't stopped it.
You're guessing.
So it punished her by giving her a series of electric shocks. It knows how to do that now. It learnt on Christine.
Have you finished?
It's not guesswork, Gears. It was bound to happen. I didn't realize in time.
Have you your pass?
My pass?
To the computer building.
It's perfectly in order. You can't fault me on that. What's that in aid of?
We can't afford you, Fleming. Not anymore.
Look, I'm staying on the station.
You can stay where you like, but your association with the computer is over. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
Any fresh traces?
Not one, sir.
Nothing in orbit?
So we're nothing over this country, sir, since the interception.
Good.
I think we can take the radio telescope reports as conclusive.
I hope so. There'll be a knighthood to Reinhart.
And something for Gears?
Oh, yes, CB, probably.
And the computer and its agent, sir.
We might make the young lady a dame.
I mean, what happens to it, sir?
Ah, yes. She burnt her hands, I hear.
Oh, nothing serious.
But interesting. Your people at Thorness say they're onto a new line as a result.
The Minister of Science?
Yes, I knew there was something. Ask Mr. Radcliffe to come in, will you?
Radcliffe wants the computer to revert to him.
We can't have that, can we?
A very heavy military program for it, sir.
And a heavy industrial one, too.
What do you mean, sir?
Ah, dear boy. I'm sorry to keep you. I hope there was a new punch in the other room.
You wanted me.
Yes, about the machine and its agent, as Burdett calls her. Do sit down.
We had hoped that...
So had the defense in it. Of course, it must still work on defense, but at the same time, it has a very heavy industrial potential. We want to be rich, you know, as well as strong. The scientists have given us, and we're very grateful, Radcliffe, the most advanced thinking instrument in the world. It will make it possible for us to leap ahead as a country in a great many fields. Ahead of our time, too.
You'll keep it in your own hands, sir.
Yes.
But surely...
What, dear boy?
Well, you've read our report, sir.
How pompous you are. Which reports?
Osborne prepared them based on Dr. Fleming's
Have I
analysis.
seen them?
They were mentioned. Fleming's that rather
I
unstable.
remember, yes.
You're not worried about the idea of relying on an intelligence from outside?
Ah, that? Well, boffins have their fantasies, you know. Should I be worried? Are your people quite happy?
Oh, perfectly, sir, Dr.
I wouldn't say that
you
Gears...
trust Gears?
Oh, of course, Prime Minister.
Well, that's all right, then. You'd better get on with it. I shall make a statement to the nation in a day or two.
You're not going to make this public.
Oh, don't flap, man. I shall say something about the effects. The means, of course, will remain top secret. That'll be your responsibility.
What can I tell General Vandenberg?
Tell him to rest his feet. No. You can say that we're going to be a great little country again. But we'll continue to cooperate with our allies. With any allies we can get, in fact.
Dr. Fleming. And what the hell are you doing here? You don't mind? Get out. Please, Herr Doctor, do not look so embarrassed.
I am not your Herr Doctor, Herr.
I am quite official. A1 at Lloyd's. I do not compromise you.
This way.
Smoking?
Slightly, at the edges. Look, I'll give you while I count 3.
You do
I
not
am not
hear-
interested in anything you have for sale. Try the next door house.
I do that. I do just that. I call on you, my dear doctor, to let you know I shall not trouble you any further. I have other methods, much better, much more honest. I have not touched anything.
Get me Miss Adamson. Well, can you get her? Yes, I'll hold on. Miss Adamson, please. Oh, Judy? Who else? Look, do you still want to be on the same side? Okay. Well, here's some cooperation for you. Kaufman's just left. He's all yours. Well, get in a taxi. No, I haven't told him anything, for Pete's sake.
You'll be hearing from me in a very short time.
Good. You know, I should like to have seen your hardware.
So would everyone.
Business-wise, and there's a good word. For business, it is immaterial. It is result, yes?
We deal in results here.
Oh, so do we. Well, goodbye, Doctor. Auf Wiedersehen.
That's more like it.
You like my little stinkers?
Yes, very much.
Then I shall send you some.
Oh, will you see Herr Kaufmann out?
No. No, please don't trouble. I know my way.
Can I speak to you for a moment?
I'm rather busy.
It's very important.
Come in, then.
You know who he is.
His name is Kaufmann.
Intel.
That's right.
But it was Kaufmann that Dr. Bridger was selling secrets
I know all about the Bridger case.
But it was Intel. They were taking secrets out.
I'm not taking any secrets from me.
But Dr. Gears, I don't... Oh, Professor Dorney.
Hello, my dear.
We're making a trade agreement with them.
Oh, what?
A trade agreement.
Look, I was put on this job because we didn't trust them. Dr. Bridger was hounded to his death by me, among other people, because he... And
the
now...
climate has changed.
Politicians enjoy such convenient weather.
That will be enough.
She's right there, you know.
It's none of your business, Miss Adamson. What the government needs now is world markets.
So you don't mind who you shake hands with?
I think you should be careful.
Are you part of it?
That will do, Miss Adamson.
Well, I'm not, and Dr. Fleming's
Miss Adamson!
Oh, for heaven's sake, let her know. We've isolated an enzyme which regenerates cells. When Andromeda.
Oh, she has a pet name now.
When she burnt her hands, she worked out a synthesis with my lab people. Have you seen her hands?
I saw them burned.
Well, there's no sign of a burn now. See, no scar tissue, nothing. Overnight.
And that's what you're selling to Intel.
Through Intel, to anyone who needs it.
So they know all about it.
They know nothing about the computer or the creature. They don't even know she exists.
But they'll market it.
The enzyme's not quite in a marketable form yet. We need a more refined formula. Andre, the girl is preparing the data for computing.
So the whole station's working for Intel.
I hope not.
Look, Madeline, this is enough.
I'm sorry, Dr. Gears. I won't waste your time. Some of us would just like to know where we stand, that's all.
Then I advise you to listen to the Prime Minister's broadcast. If it's good enough for me, it may be even good enough for you. And Dr. Fleming.
Not since the halcyon days of Queen Victoria has this country held such a clear lead in the fields of industry, technology, and above all, security, as we now have with the new means at our disposal. You will understand that I am not at liberty to divulge technical secrets. But I can tell you this.
Come in.
The menace of nuclear attack
Sorry to disturb
has
you.
at last been
No, you're not.
diverted from our shores. Or perhaps I should say from our skies in no uncertain manner. And before us lie prospects of a new and a finer industrial revolution.
Well, let's turn the old idiot off. He's had his chance. What does the young man want, forsooth? I could tell him. A social call?
I was just going off to the computer room.
Drink?
Thanks. When I saw a light in your room.
Pink, isn't it?
Yes, thanks.
Oh, working overtime?
Dr. Fleming, I've said some pretty uncharitable things about you in my time.
You're not the only one.
About your attitude to all this.
Well, I was wrong, wasn't I? The Prime Minister says so. Wrong and out.
I wonder. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm beginning to wonder. Judy Adamson's beginning to, too.
Oh, that'll be a big help.
Oh, come on now. She said something to Gears earlier on. It seems only fair to make use of what we've got, of what you gave us.
Oh, don't rub it in.
But I don't know. There's something corrupt about that sort of power. You can see it working on the people here, and on the government. It's as if perfectly sensible people were being pursued by a determination that isn't their own, as I was over the making of those two creatures. And yet it all seems harmless enough.
Does it?
Well, take this job we're working on now, this enzyme production, you know.
I don't know anything anymore.
Well, what we're getting to is an enzyme which will regenerate cells. It's beneficial. It'll affect everything from skin grafting to aging. It's the biggest, finest thing since antibiotics.
A godsend to millions.
Yes. We'll market it.
It may not be godsend.
Yes, but you can't put your finger on anything, though, can you?
I can't do anything. I'm like one of those chaps in atrocity stories who get stood up at gunpoint and have to watch their whole family being butchered. Only this time it's the human race.
Yes, you spoil your case, you know, by going too far.
Do I? A year ago, this machine had no power outside its own building. And even there, we were in charge of it. Now it's got the whole country dependent on it. And the original team, who may have controlled it, Reinhart, Bridger, and myself, all pushed out, all disposed of. Well, this country will go ahead and be a major force in the world again. And who's going to be the power behind that throne?
Could you have controlled it?
Not latterly.
What could you have done?
Fouled it up as much as possible. The machine knows that. Now it's got its creature working for it. It's had me pushed out. I'm not even allowed in the building.
I don't know.
That's the most they say. Reinhart says it. Osborne says it. I don't know. It's going to get you a long way, isn't it?
Perhaps it's inevitable. Perhaps it's evolution.
Look, I can foresee the time when we create our own higher form of intelligence, to which in the end we'll hand over. And it'll be in an inorganic form like this one. But it'll be something we've created ourselves. Something we've designed for our own good, or for good as we know it. This machine wasn't programmed for our good. Or if it was, something's gone wrong with it.
Could anyone tell except you?
None of that lot.
Could I tell?
You?
I have access to it.
Yeah. Why not? We might try a little experiment.
You'll have to brief me.
Have you got anybody over there that can feed this in?
Andre?
No.
Well, there's an operator.
Yes. We might as well go on needling it as much as possible.
Well, what is this?
It's just a little bit of false information.
Why?
Oh, a sort of mild form of sabotage. Look, don't take that girl creature into your confidence.
I'm out of my depth, I must admit that.
Let me know how you get on. And good luck with your enzymes.
Pass, please.
You know who I am?
I must see you pass.
But this is ridiculous.
It's a drill man.
Now, may I go into my own laboratory?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Evening.
Good evening.
How's it going?
We have fed it in. You should have a formula soon.
Good. Input that too, will you?
What is that?
Oh, just something else I want calculated.
May I see it?
Oh, nothing to it. It's all right.
What are you putting in? Where did you get this?
That's my business.
It's my name tag.
Is it?
Reversed. Negatived. Why don't you keep out of this?
Leave us, please.
I don't wish you any harm. Why don't you keep out?
Don't talk to me like that. I created you. I made you.
You made.
What are you doing?
We have grown rather tired of this little joke. Neither you nor Dr. Fleming nor anyone else can come between this and me. I don't know what you've started now. I can't be responsible.
Are you trying to frighten me?
I am trying to warn you.
What is that?
Your enzyme formula.
Oh, is that all?
Isn't that enough for you?
Well, get her into the sick bay, and the others. And tell Hunter.
Give me a line, please.
The message has definitely stopped repeating, sir.
What message is that?
Well, the message from Andromeda. We've been monitoring for days now without picking up anything. I just thought we ought to tell you about it, Professor. Sir Ernest.
Professor will do while we're working. We'll keep Sir Ernest for garden parties. Yes, perhaps it'll never come our way again. Perhaps if it wasn't for that fluke, we should never have heard it.
Control room? Yes, he's here. Put it through, will you? Call for you, sir.
Oh. Reinhart. Oh, hello, John. It's Fleming. Yes. What? She's... Oh, my... Yes, all right. I'll come as soon as I can.
No, come sooner than that. No, drop everything and come now. Not only Dornay, her assistants, too. There's not much hope for them, I'm afraid. Okay. Gone? Reinhardt's coming down.
I don't know what good you think that'll do. They'll all be dead within a week.
Any other symptoms?
Yes. Degeneration of tissue. The cells packing up. Like that.
Have they all been working on the enzyme?
Yes.
It's my fault.
Humility. It's a new line for you.
All right, then, it's not my fault. Here's the formula for the enzyme they were working on.
Where did you get it?
Oh, illegally, like I have to do everything.
How did it come into your possession?
Judy Adamson got it for me.
I'll have it, please. Why's this crossed through?
It's wrong. I crossed it out because it's wrong. This is the correct formula. You better get it made up as quickly as possible. What the computer gave Dornay was an inversion of what she wanted. It switched negative for positive.
Why should it?
To play me back at my own game. Game? It gave me the antiparticle instead of the enzyme, instead of a cell regenerative, a cell destructor. It acts through the skin. They probably absorbed it when they were handling it. There's nothing you can do unless you can make the proper enzyme in time.
Do you really think that we can do that?
Do you really want to make your reputation?
I want to save their lives.
If you make up the correct formula, it may act as an antidote to what she's got. It may reverse what's happening to her now. Well, at least it's worth trying. If not, they finished the ride with the lady inside. This machine will do anybody's dirty work. Gears or Kaufman's or the devil's as long as it suits it.
The machine?
Oh, don't look so puzzled here, Doctor.
Well, why should the machine make a mistake like that?
It didn't. The only mistake was it got the wrong person. The wrong people. It didn't care how many people. One trade agreement with Intel could have been half the world.